Should we invite Shyla?
Yes.
From PureOnline. And Shyla Garu, thank you so much for being part of our journey together. So without me saying much, love for you to share your reflections.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Namaste. My name is Shyla Talluri, and I want to thank a few people first. Of course, thanks Srini and family for including me in this beautiful event. Had a lovely time so far, and I'm sure there's a lot in store for the evening. Thank you, Vamshi sir. Thanks for those kind words. I was telling somebody about the discipline. I get a message every time you have a yoga session, and that seems to be every day. Amazing, amazing discipline, I have to say. And now coming to a few people that Srini talks about. I was very glad to see Shailesh again and Sriramji, who Srini talks about Sriramji quite often, very highly. And I feel lucky to have met you and everybody else here today. I'm coming to you, Srini. For somebody who claims to be the laziest person ever, this is quite an accomplishment. Every time I have a conversation with Srini, he always starts with how lazy he is. If this is what laziness looks like, if this, the 10YEC, is what laziness can accomplish, I want to be lazy like you, Srini. Having said that, Pure. The journey of Pure started in 2016. Along the way, a few years back, we met Srini, the most amazing and the best friend of Pure. Very lucky to have met you, Srini, and thanks for the partnership in giving. Pure is all about education, people for urban and rural education. Along the way, we do look at education in many different ways. Holistic education, we have always talked about sports, this and that. But when Pure Yoga was brought up, I was first puzzled. I mean, here I am now at the 10YEC inauguration. And a few years back, I wondered why Srini had the 10 in his name. That's how yoga illiterate I am. And I did, of course, Google and learned a little bit and learned a lot along the way in my conversations with Srini. But when Pure Yoga was brought up, I was like, is this religious? We claim to be a secular organization and things like that. Then I started thinking, yoga has been embraced by everybody, most everybody outside of India. It is seen as something the best out there, right? Not just for your healthy lifestyle, but healthy mind as well. Why not? Why not bring it to the underprivileged, to the disadvantaged children? Was the thought, or probably was the thought that Srini had in bringing that to the table. And there I was thinking, hey, is this going to be seen as something religious? I'm glad we had that conversation, Srini. And looking at all those pictures, I know I have seen those before, but looking at what Vamshi sir put together, really amazing. When people talk about healthy lifestyles and fitness and everything, it usually, healthy eating and things like that, it usually ends up being a very expensive thing. It is easy to go buy a $1 menu, right? But here is yoga that a child can learn. All he or she or they need is just themselves. When I saw the yoga mats and things like that that were being displayed in yoga, in Vamshi sir's pictures, I remembered another conversation I had with Sri. I was like, don't we need to buy these kids yoga mats, this and that? And Sri goes in his own calm way, all they need is some kind of a sheet or a towel. That's all. And how true, right? How true. And again, one more time, and then I will go to something else. One more time, thank you, Srini. Thanks for bringing yoga close to those children out there. And I know the pandemic has kind of put a pause in a way on our scale-up plans, but I'm sure this year and the next, we'll see hundreds of schools embracing yoga. And thanks for that, especially with the stress and the competition, the strain that's put on these young minds, besides the burden of poverty that they already carry on their shoulders. Yoga is one solution, the best solution that we can bring to them to give them the peace that they need. Thanks again. We do a lot of Pure, and one other thing that Srini, you probably nobody will be surprised here, is very much into STEM, right? Bringing STEM close to the kids, the underprivileged, the at-risk, the disadvantaged children that Pure works with. We say Khan Academy is something, again, a partnership with Srini, the 10 Guru, is have Pure embraced Khan Academy as well, brought it closer to the children. Today I was in a meeting talking about learning management systems, and when I said, hey, we need to maybe simplify or kind of make a Khan Academy light or iExcel light kind of a thing, bring it closer to the orphanages and schools. Again, it was the Khan Academy project that we partnered on that I remembered, and I actually shared with the team too. This has been an amazing journey, amazing journey of giving alongside Srini. When I was invited as a guest to this event, I'm like, yes, I'm a guest here, but when it is Pure, Srini is part of Pure, right? We cannot think of Pure without Srini Guru's name coming up at least once a week. I know you don't like to hear anybody praise you too much, Srini. You're very humble, but I have to share all this. Again, Pure's working in 8 countries now, almost all the islands in the Caribbean. We'll have Pure's footprint soon, and I hope to bring yoga to them as well. And it's right, I'm sitting here in Florida, so I'm like pointing it out there. This should not just be limited to, I mean, of course, yes, India takes priority, but I would love to bring yoga closer to those children in the Caribbean. We also work in Uganda and Ethiopia. Soon, if we can bring it there as well. These children are all disadvantaged, and it will really be our privilege to show them the yoga way. Thank you. Thanks for everything, Srini. I don't know which way to look, because I know you're all staring at the TV there, and thanks for including me. And everybody at Pure sends best wishes.
I think someday we will settle this debate about who is lazy and not, and I think we'll prove it. And you're going to tell me that I'm actually the most lazy too. But putting that aside, and for all of you, Shyla is one of the most inspiring leaders that I've met in my journey, in particular as Shyla is referred to in the 2016 and 2017. I really had to question about who am I, what is my identity, and who's kind of my family. And sometimes in Bhagavad Gita, we call that as Vishada Yoga, right? And you have to reach the pinnacle of even exploring your own existence. And at that time, I met Shyla through Shailesh's brother. We call him as Bhushanana. And until that time, I was actually going through Miracle Foundation and some of the other nonprofits. But what I can say is, with Pure, I was able to actually discover my identity. and what Shyla and the team have connected me to for the high school kids, women in different parts of the world, different parts of India, and it doesn't matter what faith that everybody belongs to. And she and the Pure team gave me an opportunity to see myself, my identity, in connecting with so many people and seeing my joy in the joy of others. And that's the essence of yoga, that we are all one. You are not in happy in isolation. You're only happy when you see the joy of others. So I know that our association, the partnership, has many more things to do, and everything that you guys have seen in India, particularly Pure Yoga, it's all been expression through the Pure platform. So I think there's more and more to it. Shyla, thank you so much for inspiring me and your rest of the crew, Hema Garu, Deepa Garu, Archana Garu, and the entire Pure family, and what a network and the platform. I'm just beginning actually. Right now, it's just a seed. So let's see where it should be. Thank you so much. And